Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the law of attraction, manifesting success stories show comes in. If you are ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello, and welcome to this interview with the Living Your Dreams 2026A group. Tonight I have with me Chona, Leslie, Nicole, Tierra, Luisa, and for the first time, Ree. So welcome everyone, and welcome Ree. Awesome. So Ree, I'm just going to start with you, get a little background. What is the magic that you do in the world?
Okay. The magic that I do in the world is I work with animals. Specific dog grooming. So I've always had really good rapport with animals, and it for me I've done this. I've been in this industry for about 41 years, and I still love it. It's just everyday joy for me. I really love what I do, so I'm fortunate there.
Awesome. Yay. And what was your biggest reason for joining the Enchanted Circle?
Well, gotta be honest, through the pandemic, business was insanely not knowing what was going to be happening. There was a lot of transition going on, and it got to the point where I was having a hard time finding employees, and I just didn't know where things were going to go. Every time I tried to restructure my business, I came across a lot of obstacles, and I was left with nothing left to do but trust that everything would be okay. And with that, some crazy things started manifesting. Like, I looked in my yard one day, I have a stand of bamboo, and I was like, I really need to get a backhoe and get that retaining wall put in over there. And like the next day, my friend called and said, hey, I happen to have a backhoe. Do you need it for any reason? And like, neither one of us are in the habit of having or needing a backhoe. So like crazy coincidental things like that started happening. And I looked into podcasts on law of attraction because I was like, I need to find out more about this. This is kind of fun. And then I found your podcast, and from there I just got more and more interested. I had to be a part of this.
Yay!
That's how I really felt about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And I always love to ask this question because listeners like to hear, what is it like to be part of a group program?
I never expected that it was going to be as great as it is. I love hearing everyone's, the commonality of being a human being and the problems that someone else has. I may have them too. And the answers are there sometimes. And it's like an aha moment when someone else is getting a learning experience. So I would have thought maybe a one-on-one would have been more beneficial, but I love the group. I think there's so much more to learn. And maybe just to see that, like, oh, gee, I'm not the only one in that boat. The struggles that I have are the same that somebody else might be having too. So that's the part I really love. I mean, I feel very connected. I know I don't know any of you extremely well, but on some level, I feel like you're all my besties because I just feel like the group community is so cool. I really do.
Yes. Yay. That's awesome. Well, we are excited to have you. Ree has been in the Enchanted Circle for about 90 days, a little bit over. So awesome and welcome. And to those of you listening, this group has manifested right here. The ones on this call together that you are getting to hang out with right now have manifested $991,142.65. Yay!
Wow. Yay.
Which is amazing. So Chona, I'm going to start with this question. What does it feel like to be in a group where that's a total, like to be sitting here on a call where that's the group total?
I mean, it feels amazing. Like to hear what 991,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like to be sitting around like we're almost millionaires.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just great energy. And I love hearing everyone's totals and the way that money has manifested because it really is everywhere. And like Ree said, answers are everywhere too. So it's awesome.
Yay. Amazing. I'm actually going to give that question to everybody, even though you guys didn't know that was coming. Leslie, what does it feel like to be? I mean, in our bigger group, we've manifested over 10 million, but just in this group is almost $1 million. How does it feel to be part of that?
It means that I get to, like everyone's manifestation collectively, it gives me evidence that, like, as soon as you said that number, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get to $991,000.
Yeah,
like it just helped amp up my belief, and just hearing the number was a really great evidence for me.
Yay. How about you, Nicole?
It's actually really funny. I have the last couple of weeks have had this kind of like recurring kind of mind chatter about winning $1 million, and to be in this group and be us being so close to that. It just kind of was like, and you know how you always say, you know, when you're trying to manifest money, it's harder to wrap your mind around $1 million. It's a little easier to wrap your mind around 10,000. But lately I've been wrapping my mind around that $1 million.
Yes, it gets easier,
it
right? Once
good.
you get that 10,000, you wrap it around the 10,000.
I can wrap it around the 10. I can wrap it around $1 million. It doesn't feel foreign anymore. Yeah, especially hearing this number, you know.
That's awesome. I love that. Tierra, how about you?
You know, I have to piggyback off of both Nicole and Leslie. Like when you said the number, I'm like, yeah, of course. Like this is the enchanted circle. Like, why not? And it didn't feel like, it was just like, okay, you know, I expect that even in this small group to manifest such a magical, large number, and everyone's manifestation is like my evidence. And I love the fact that it just felt very like, okay, matter of fact, like, yep, that's what we do. That's what we do here.
Of course, this group is almost at $1 million. I love it. Luisa, how about you?
I just love being part of such a wealthy group of people. It just goes to show you, you know, how much abundance there truly is in this world and in the universe. And listening to such large numbers like we do every day, those numbers just become the norm. Those are normal for us.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Yes. Yay. Ree, how about you? Ooh.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like the numbers are tangible, and the more we talk about them, and it's not just the money. There's things that appear too that can represent a figure, but you know, it's just fun to see those things happen and appear for you. But being a part of the group, it makes it very tangible when you see other people that are realizing things for themselves as well. So I love that.
Yes. Yay. And I love it. And I love that Leslie did the math. That's $165,166 per person on the call, which is awesome, and an awesome space to play in. Especially because I don't even think Chona, no one has been here for even a year yet. So that is amazing. Has Chona been here for a year?
Almost. I think I joined at the end of November.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one's been here a year, which is pretty awesome. So amazing. Along with stepping into that amount really comes learning and growing. So Chona, I'll start with you. Talk to us about what you've learned about feeling your feelings versus stuffing them and ignoring them.
Well, it's funny that, it's like the biggest growth or aha since our last interview. I'm like, the biggest growth or aha since the 2 calls from earlier today. Because I mean, that is the magic of this group and being in the program is like, you're learning something every single day. And every time we show up to a call and really challenging those old stories and limiting beliefs. And yeah, I mean, it's just an aha because it's, you said feeling my feelings versus stuffing them down. Like it's such an old habit of mine that like, I have to keep showing up and doing the work to realize that I'm still sometimes doing it unknowingly. And I might have a hard time explaining myself because it is still kind of new. But that, feeling my feelings isn't just for the good times, right? Like if I'm going through something, I have to feel through them. Whereas my old story was to try to figure it out, which is the sneaky way of doing the how and fixing it, which I didn't realize until about an hour ago. And so, and really today it was just a big lesson for me and a big growth to be able to sit there, and I'm not joking, for a full hour, just deep breathing through every emotion. It was anger, it was sadness, it was fear, everything. And then to be able to get on the call, ask the question, but still feel, open and safe enough to kind of get emotional, right? Like what Ree said, we might not know each other really well, but it does, I look forward to seeing everybody and putting myself out there, and I know I'm in a safe space. So it's like when I'm feeling my feelings, like not shutting them or stuffing them down, when I'm by myself, but also like when I'm with you guys, like it's okay to be able to like feel everything and be open and vulnerable. So it's a big aha.
That's awesome. I love it. Leslie, I know that part of what you're growing through is not fixing things and giving things space. Talk to us about that and how you've grown in that area.
I think the scripting assignments have just been really helpful at just kind of bringing me into a place of being and practicing who I'm being. And I think that this is also trickling out into other areas of my life. And so I just find like, I just, I had a situation at work last week, and, a colleague was a little bit distressed about stuff. And I was like, it's not for us to fix it, and let's just let it, let's just let it be. And so can pick up on it, and, blah, blah, blah. So, and just, with myself day to day as well, I just feel like I notice that I'm not just obsessing about stuff. I can just put things down and just wait and give it space.
Yay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nicole, talk to us about the satisfaction of scripting.
It's interesting because I was, as you know, I was having trouble with the website. And so because I couldn't get on, I was like, well, let me just think about some of the scripting starters that you've been giving us. And so I was just practicing scripting, and I have found that the more I do it, the more I'm starting to feel it. Like I get the last time I did it, I got a little tingly afterwards, which is the first time I felt like I'm really like Leslie said, in it. I feel like I up-leveled myself and just how I approach it, instead of making it an assignment, it was just like, okay, I'm just going to do it, and that pressure we put on ourselves, or it's an assignment, I have to make sure it's right. And even though I know at this point, that's not the point, I'm well aware that is not the point, but my inner, OCD is like, it has to be right. But I just found myself like really getting into, I saw my house when I was scripting it. I saw it, and I didn't go into like crazy detail. It was just like little things that I could, as I was writing, I was like, I can see this window that I'm talking about, and I'm looking out and watching my neighbors go by. Like, I can see this window. And I got a little tingly. So I am, for those listening, scripting is lovely. It's a lovely way to if you don't visualize well, writing it down, you're visualizing it. If you can't close your eyes and see it, when you write it, you can see it, and when you can see it, you can be it, you can have it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what I think, and I want to remind you guys earned, Leslie also talked about how powerful, going, because she's in this scripting section of Manifest 10K, but you guys earned how good that feels. And I want you to remember that. Like, you couldn't have come in and scripted the way you scripted when you started Manifest 10K. Like, if I gave you this, like, it would have not looked the same, right? You had to open up this space and start to make these little changes in how you saw money in order to be able to have all that feel good, right?
100%. You nailed it right on the head. There is no way that first month that I would have been able to feel anything. I was just writing stuff down, again, trying to make sure I was doing it right, you know?
Right.
And it takes coming on the calls and hearing other people's stories and you saying, it's not about right. There is no right, you know?
Yes.
There are tips, but there's no right, you know? There are ways to up level it, but there's no right, you know? So getting that out of your head, that things have to be right and have to be perfect and have to be a certain way, because all that does is hinder that becomes Chona, me trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it in my scripting, you know, instead of just letting it flow, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Let's see, did you feel that too? Like, you could not have probably enjoyed scripting as much when you first started?
Yeah, totally. I was recently actually going back to some of the earlier assignments because there was something that I kind of like, I never finished, and I wanted to go back and just say I did it. And I was like going back and looking through those, and I was like, what was I doing back then? Like, and what I'm really enjoying about the scripting is just the prompts, the way we're prompted to focus on one thing, and how what the practice I've given myself in this scripting is to really just continuously go back to that prompt. And I find that I keep exploring it from it's like I'm squeezing the sponge dry, you know, like I'm just totally getting as much as I can out of it. And how, like, you know, with working up towards a 15-minute time of doing the scripting, how during that time, I find like I kind of like I get into it, and then you know, like how my attention kind of, you know, comes and goes, and so it's been kind of like a practice of just really staying engaged with the headspace of letting it all flow. And it's been really great practice for me in terms of like not judging what I'm writing. I just blurt it out, and there's no edits, and it's done.
Yay, that's awesome. I love it. Tierra, I know that you are really enjoying abundance instead of like one of the things that you've grown through is not waiting for something bad to happen. Will you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so just between the exercises in Enchanted and listening to the calls, I realized that there was a part of me that, based on my past experience with money, I'm always expecting like kind of more money, more problems. And I didn't even realize that I was doing that to myself until I'm like, hearing you in my head, like with feeling the feelings and, you know, like if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, and all those things. And then I'm like, okay, so wait a minute, why is this feeling trying to creep in? You know, it doesn't need to be here right now. I can just enjoy the penny I found, or the money coming in, or someone offering me free lunch, and without thinking like there has to be something negative that comes with it too. So, you know, this whole experience has really taught me that I was doing that to myself. And now I'm able to just enjoy the abundant energy and just continue to expect more abundance instead of like the hammer to drop.
Yay, that's awesome. It makes it way more fun, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I love it. Luisa, talk to us about getting to know your future self and what she believes and how you've grown into that.
Oh, I'm having so much fun getting to know her more, and what her beliefs are. It's like I'm peeling old layers of myself. And as I'm peeling those layers, new growth is coming, and I'm no longer in that survival mode. I'm starting to see what she does, what she doesn't like, how strong she is, how powerful. So it's really helping me to grow and to set boundaries, to do things I love to do, to not do things I don't like to do, and be more responsible for myself and nobody else.
Yay. How does that feel?
Like this huge weight just lifted. It's these layers, such heavy layers of things I didn't believe that I've carried all these years.
Mm-hmm.
And they were heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm loving that she's freeing me from a lot of these misconceptions that I had in my mind about myself and who I want to become.
Yay. Me too. Amazing. Ree, what have you grown through in the past 3-4 months?
I've grown through.
Or your biggest aha? I know it has a
So
lot to do with relaxing and trust.
Yeah, my biggest aha has just been relaxing enough to just trust that everything is going okay. And then it's magical how it things appear and things are resolved without having to try to fix it. So the biggest aha has been being able to let go of when maybe things are in turmoil, to just walk away from it, because your immediate reaction maybe used to be, let me go, what do I got to do to get this right? And so to be able to just say, you know what, let me just sit on this and let this play out a little bit and give it some space and then have things work out. That's been a huge aha.
That is awesome. It's always so much more fun when things just work themselves out.
Yes.
I love it. Amazing. Well, any thoughts come up as other people were sharing that anyone wants to jump in before we wrap up this episode? Nicole?
Just piggybacking off of what Tierra was saying, I think I wrote something about like what I've grown into is practicing every day, not letting my fear speak take over.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's that why am I telling that story again? Why am I afraid? Things keep working out.
Yes.
So what am I, like she was saying, waiting for that shoe to drop, carrying around my umbrella, waiting for it to rain. I've it is a practice, because you don't realize, how many decades, depending on how old you are, that you have been telling yourself these stories. And especially when it comes to money, I don't have enough. I can't afford that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Instead of saying, I choose not to buy that today. I choose to buy it later.
Yes.
That feels like such different energy than I can't do it. It's like, I'm just choosing to do it later on, but it's literally trying to get that fear speak to just once and for all, like just blow it away and have it never come back. But I know that it will, and I know that it's okay that it does, and I know that I can feel it and then let go live. Yeah.
Yes. Tierra?
So kind of to piggyback off what Nicole was saying, like and what Chona, like the feelings, I can remember jumping on like my first call where I heard you coaching through that. And I'm like, what is feeling the feelings? Like, because when you're manifesting, you have to stay high vibe and then just listening to you. And then I remember thinking like, I don't know, and then I can't recall, whom it was, but regardless, like they had such a big aha. They were like, oh, that's great. And I'm like, really? So like, this is profound. And just understanding that it's okay to feel those lower level energies and like, just embrace it. And I mean, I've never heard that before, but it feels so good. It feels right. And then, like Nicole said, you just come out on the other side in a better frame of mind, ready to continue receiving the good. But I just like that feeling the feelings. I'm like, it's like mind blowing.
Yay. Amazing. Yes. Leslie.
I fell down last night. I wiped out hard in the street. and I was like, okay. And I started crying. I'm like, and I was crying and stuff. And then I was like, about 20 minutes later, I was like, well, hey, I felt the feelings, and look, I'm good. I'm back. I'm all okay. It just like letting myself go there was just like so valuable in the moment. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to say, I messaged Luisa in the chat. I think that was just so inspiring what you shared about your experience of your future self. And I can't wait till I get to do my future self workshop. And I just wanted to share one little tidbit about how I noticed that I had grown. Recently, I was having a conversation with some people about stuff I'm going through, and there's like big money numbers attached to it. And during that whole conversation, I actually never talked about the money. And it was like, I wasn't like, it was me feeling abundant and feeling like it'll come. I don't have to tell people that I'm worried about money.
Yay.
And which means I don't have to worry about the money.
Yes. Yay. That's huge. Yeah. I love it. And for you, leaves so much space for what you're creating, right? Like what that money is going for, like what you want, which is so awesome. Yay. Ree?
I just wanted to say too that I'm very aware now of the words that come out of my mouth, that I ask myself, I catch myself saying, do I want more of that? Or how can I change what I'm saying to create something different in a different way? So I'm really loving that part of learning that and learning how to do that. That's a lot of fun, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Amazing, ladies. So we aren't done yet. We're done for this week, but make sure to come back and check out what else is awesome, what these ladies have learned and grown through, the cool evidence that they're seeing next week. We'll see you then.
Thank you for joining us on the Law of Attraction Manifesting Success Stories show. To learn how to attract more money into your life, go to your favorite book retailer and order Cassie's book, Manifest $10,000.